Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I am Chris and this is my experience on Zepbound. I am really excited with this week's results. It'll get a little confusing. I had been doing every single Friday, started on 2.5. I've been on 2.5 for 8 weeks. This is the beginning of week 9 and yesterday I injected my first 5 milligram shot, which I was very nervous about. So what I had done is last week I pushed the 2.5 up one day. So I went 6 days in between instead of 7, just to kind of see with it still in my system, which I guess it's a 5-day half-life. So I wanted to push it up and see if I had any side effects, again, because I was so worried about going up on 5. So this week I moved up the 5 to Wednesday. So I've gone from Friday to Wednesday. And let me tell you the reason I did that. I was very happy. I originally started on Fridays because I eat the most on the weekends. It's most social time with my husband and family coming over. And so I wanted to be not hungry on the weekends. So that was great, except that I found that I was very tired exhausted the second day, not the day of the shot. The afternoon of the shot, I would get a little tired. The next day, I would be halfway through the day and just like, oh, I need a nap badly. So I thought, okay, I'm going to move it back a little so that my weekends, I'm not so tired. So Wednesday seemed like the best because then I figured if I was tired Thursday, that'd be good. Even tired Friday, I'd have a little more energy on Saturday. But I feel like the food, keeping the food noise down is the most important thing for me right now. So at any rate, I went up to 5. I'm super excited. I'll throw this out here. Today I weighed myself and I'm down 33 pounds. And the second exciting thing is I got my journal back, which has been really, I've always tried to journal before. I've always hated it, but it's been kind of instrumental in my journey where I have my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, my steps, my thoughts. Sorry, it's allergy season. I'm having a heck of a time. But it has really helped me to take a little bit of time to write this out. And what I've said before too is since I'm eating basic foods like chicken breasts and chicken broth and vegetables, Brussels sprouts, roasted in oil, it's a lot easier to food log than when you're eating complicated things. So at any rate, I'm really stoked about the weight loss. Going through, I have a spot in here also in the back that tracks by week. And I love this. It's got my starting weight broken down by weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then each week I have like minus 10 pounds the first week, minus 5 pounds, and then a cumulative minus 15 pounds over 2 weeks, minus 4 pounds the third week, minus 4 pounds the fourth week, minus 2 pounds the fifth week, minus 2 pounds the sixth, 3 pounds the seventh, and 3 pounds the eighth for a total of 33. I also put where I inject it, right abdomen, left abdomen, and I think that's it. Yeah, I know the milligrams. I probably should write that somewhere because as I get into it, but I did in my weekly breakdown, right, like going up to 5. So I like to be able to look back at these things and you lose track of it in your mind. I don't know that it might be age related, it might be whatever, it might be calorie deficit, but I like to have this. So I would really recommend doing that. So I'm gonna do a short video today, and I also wrote down where I wanted to talk about all the things. Okay, so weigh in, minus 33 pounds. I'm super excited. I don't know if, at first I thought I'm a super responder, which I might be because I have lost weight every week, but I'm looking at a couple of factors here. One is that Yes, my portions towards the end of 2.5 started to get a little bigger, to where they were back to my bigger portions before, but still all healthy foods. So one thing in my favor is I really don't want to have the experience that my daughter's had. And she tells me every time she eats crappy, she has sulfur burps. She feels gross the next day. It just makes her feel very bad. And so I don't want to feel real bad. I don't like feeling nauseous, and I don't like having the runs. And so that's diarrhea. That's the nicest term. We'll call it the runs from now on, here on this channel. So I don't like any of that. I don't like feeling gassy. And so I have been pretty vigilant about the 5 things that I would say, if you want this to be a good experience, or what I've experienced, the 5 things that have helped me the most are, I'm super cautious and super careful about what I eat. I try to eat 30 grams of protein at every meal. I have read I take all this information that everyone else talks about and kind of integrate it in mine, and all the negative feedback too. And a lot of the feedback that I've read is protein is so important. And so clean proteins, I'm eating organic chicken, not so much fish. I need to add fish into my diet. Lots of veggies, lots of salads. I'm not doing high fat. I don't like keto personally. That also made me feel yucky. So the fats that I incorporate are grass-fed butter on my sourdough bread. It's like a kind of like a meshing of things. It's primarily a lot of protein, vegetables, yes with butter if I feel like it, yes with olive oil. Not a lot of fruit, but some fruit, a couple of dates with a little bit of chocolate and a walnut if I want something sweet at night, which has been like a handful of times. I cut out drinking wine except for like once a week. I had wine a couple of nights ago. I had 2 glasses with my husband just because I felt like it. It didn't make me, I really monitored it. And the time before that was a week and a half before at Disney. So I'm going like 7 to 10 days in between wine. So that's good. But looking at a clean diet. The second thing that I would say is smaller portions of everything. And towards the end of the 2.5, that was more willpower. Towards the beginning, it was because after a couple bites, I felt really full. That's changing. That changed a lot towards the end of 2.5. I'm on day 2 of 5 milligrams, and I feel like it's going back to, sorry, this hair. I feel like it's going back to my beginning of 2.5 where I'm just not hungry. Whereas towards the end of 2.5, I was hungry. Or the hunger was breaking through a little bit more. I wasn't like famished, but I was noticing my hunger more. So I think this whole titrating up thing is good because it forces you to go through different steps of learning how to deal with things. Obviously, I didn't have a good relationship with food. Obviously, my portions were too big. I was not always choosing the right food. The one thing that I would say this has done for me is helped turn off my on switch for hunger, which I've mentioned before, and that has been the most important thing. I still feel it's due to reducing my inflammation. It may be different for everybody, but for me, it was turning that switch off or turning it down and paying attention to other things and trying to integrate these important things into my diet and keep them on a permanent basis so that when I hopefully eventually go down on this medicine, I don't know that I'll ever go completely off. And because if this is what's reducing my inflammation, and those are findings that they're finding now when they're doing research, then I anticipate staying on this in some aspect. So anyways, back to my list. So 1 was protein, veggies. 2 is small portions. And that incorporates treats. I have taken, which I could never do in the past, 1 bite of lemon cake, 1 bite of chocolate. Not very often, because it's not, it's not attractive to me. And while it's not attractive to me, I kind of like to go with it. And, but if I want to try something, I'll try something. Because I feel like at the end of this process, when I'm not on this drug as much, I'm going to need to have those in my arsenal, the ability to say no and have them really, really solidified and working in myself, being able to take 1 bite and walk away and knowing I can do it. And I need those reinforced. So I'm trying to incorporate habits that are going to be present with me when I stop this, like a glass of wine once a week and not, 2 big glasses at night. Third thing, I drink a ton of water. I bring this in my car. I have a backup. I have it upstairs. I have it downstairs. Super important. I got very dehydrated at first, and I was also not thirsty at first, so I had to go out of my way to drink a lot of water. Fourth thing is I take supplements, and they're not anything fancy. They're chewable magnesium that I get from Costco at night. I consider that one of my treats because it's sweet and it's gummy, and it helps keep me more regular. I take collagen because my hair was thinning before this. 4 scoops of the one from Costco, Vital Proteins, I think it is, in my coffee every morning with a little bit of half and half. I take Cosamin, which is glucosamine and chondroitin. I've been taking both of those for about 6 months before I started taking the Zepbound. I do believe they were starting to work, and I do believe they're helpful. So I'm continuing to take them. A multivitamin for 60-year-old or 50 plus for Silver Centrum. And exercise would be the 5th thing. I make it a point to walk a lot. I try to do 3 miles at the lake. Oh, I forgot to put my watch on. I track it on my Apple phone, which is not on my wrist right now, or my Apple Watch. So those are the 5 things that I think if you are doing this, and if it's not working and you're not also doing the other things, I think that might be a problem. Some people say they watch what they eat, but I really didn't until I got a food scale and started actually really, really, really measuring everything that went into my body. People can anticipate wrong how much they're eating. I measured out 1/3 of a cup of the things that I love, roasted edamame, and it's a lot. That's actually surprisingly more than I thought. 1/4 cup of nuts looks tiny. Mixed nuts from Costco that I love. And like my husband eats unsalted, unroasted. I think they're gross. Personally, I like the roasted ones that, yes, it brings out the oil and whatever. You know what? Sometimes you take your victories in smaller chunks than in like, I'm going to do something that I don't want to do forever. Then you're not going to do it forever. Like forever, I would prefer to eat those more delicious mixed nuts than the ones that my husband, the unsalted, unroasted, and my blood pressure runs low, so I always say I need the salt. But anyways, I'm super thrilled about this week. I just wanted to give you those 5 building blocks that I think also work hand in hand with this medicine. I've also seen people that do it their way. My daughter she's so funny, and she's almost to 70 pounds now. She's at 69. Her plateau moved again, and she's doing it, eating Mexican food on Friday nights and indulging in her favorite things. And she has my three of my 4 beautiful grandkids to keep up with. And so she never stops moving. So exercise, and she lifts 50s and hundreds of pounds several times a day. So her workout is integrated into her day, where mine is not. So, but do what you can do to incorporate some of those things if you feel like, for some people, maybe it just doesn't work and you really are eating less than 500 calories a day. It's almost scientifically impossible for that to happen, but maybe it does. I don't know. But I know that all of these things for me have worked hand in hand, and if you can try to incorporate some of them, maybe that'll help you too. So I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back this weekend with a recipe. Have a great day, and thanks for click like and subscribe if you've gone this far. Once I hit 50 followers, I can go live. So I'm super excited. I'm at 30 something. So if you can help me out and subscribe, I won't bombard you with anything. You'll just get a reminder that I have a video coming out that week. Thanks so much. Have a great day.